Hey there, Truth Seekers. It's Nathaniel with another Stratus Series video. Today I will be covering the support cards for Faith. To start off with, we have our three Truth Seekers. Ezra says during the score phase, you may convert any faith discard cost on a single animal to a regular faith cost. You get to use that once per turn. Silas says once per turn, you may return one power card from your discard pile to your hand. And May says once per turn, you may draw two cards for each Faith Disc Power that you discard from your hand. So once per turn, you can discard any number of Faith Power cards and draw twice as many cards as you discarded. And then I have my Faith chip here. So Ezra has the ability to convert power, as Silas has the ability to recycle power, and May has the ability to draw cards. Faith's main focus is recycling. So we're going to start with our recycle Animo. Here's flow level 1. Allows that when it's played from your hand to your small group, you may place one love Animo from your discard pile into your hand. B lever has the action that says search your discard pile for any Faith Animo placed in your hand. May seal has the action that says you may return a story card from your discard pile back into your hand. This trusty is Trusty Level 2 from Cross Trainers. Has the action that says you may exchange one card from your discard pile with one card in your hand. I normally don't use this guy because it is an action. You are trading a card for card, where these other cards just let you get a card. Next up, you can recycle cards back into your small group with Treblu with his swap ability. It says if this card's in your small group, you may swap it with a level 1 Virtuous Animo from your discard pile, excluding Ultra Animo. One of the best recycle cards is Armorino Level 2 from Fearless. He has the ability that says when this card is played to grow an Armorino Level 1, you may search your discard pile for one card and place it in your hand. This is any one card, so you grab that Flow Ultra if you want, which is oftentimes what we use him for. Next up, we have Animo that recycle cards back in your deck. This is Avalanche Level 2. You may shuffle up to 5 of any combination of Faith Power and or Faith Animo from your discard pile back into your deck. Avalanche pretty good. We haven't really had a deck for him to go in because recycling cards back into your deck isn't as good as I would like it to be. Next up is Pump Kindle. He shuffles up to 3 cards from your discard pile back into your deck. Flamingo Level 2 has the ability, says this card, when this card is played to grow Flamingo Level 1, you may select any 3 cards from your discard pile and place them on the bottom of your deck in any order. We use this card in combination with the Rich Fool to grow Flamingo, place 3 cards on the bottom of the deck, play the Rich Fool to draw those 3 cards, and then we activate May Seal to go grab back our Rich Fools, so that way we can do it again. And one of the best cards in the game to shuffle cards back into your deck is Hoofit Level 1. So this Hoofit from Fearless has the ability that says when this card is in your hand, you may choose to discard it. If you do, shuffle any 3 cards from your discard pile back into your deck. We're going to move on from the cards that recycle cards back into our hand and deck to these Animo, which are Armory Level 1 and Hoofit Ultra. Armory Level 1 has the ability to when this card is played from your hand into your small group, you may search your deck for 1 Faith Power. And Hoofit Ultra says, if this card's in your hand, you may choose to discard it. If you do, search your deck for 2 Faith Powers and add them to your power pool. The key things about these guys is that these are the only way of searching for Faith Power cards in the deck, or in Faith right now. A card that specifically grabs a Faith Power card is a Kinleo. This is not a Faith Animo. There will be a few Animo that are not Faith, but helps support Faith in this, and specifically Faith. So this one says you may search your deck for 1 Faith, Hope, or Holy Spirit power and add it into your power pool. Next up, we have Armorino Level 1. He has the ability that says once per turn, as long as this card's in your small group, you may place 1 Faith Power card from your discard pile into your power pool. Alongside him is Lumini Level 3, who has the action that says you may select up to 3 standard power cards from your discard pile and place them directly into your power pool. We like ramping our power as much as we can, so between this Armorino, Hoof It Ultra, and Lumini, we're trying to get as much power cards into our power pool as fast as we can. Oh, and just because this also helps, this is Prayer Gwyn level 1 from Red Letter Day. It has the ability, says this card's in your small group if it can provide faith, hope, or love power during your score phase. This card may not be activated in the same turn this ability is used. So Prayer Gwyn can just sit in the small group and provide us with faith power if we need it. Okay. Next up, we have Animo that search for other Animo. We have Gut Piece. When it's played from our hand, we can use it to search our deck for a faith or hope Animo. We have Lily. When he's activated, search your deck for any level 1 faith, hope, or love Animo. Then we have Strider. Strider has the action that searches our deck for any faith, hope, or love Animo, excluding Ultra, and places it directly in our small group. So this one adds it to our hand, this one places it in our small group, this one places it in our hand. These cards allow us to get our faith Animo straight from our deck. Now, as an honorable mention, we have Agapesaur level 1. Agapesaur level 1 from Cross Trainers has the ability, says once per turn, discard 1 faith or hope Animo from your small group and search your deck for 1 love Animo and place it directly into your hand. I only mention this Agapesaur right now because this Agapesaur discards a faith Animo to find a love Animo. And it doesn't actually help faith, but it is a card that uses faith to help love. That's why it's an honorable mention in our search category. Next up, we have cards that draw cards. We have Stagnatic from Fearless. We have Trusty from Fearless. And we have Servitude from Cross Trainers. And to round it all out, we have Flamingo level 2 from Red Letter Day. So, the Stagnatic says, once per turn, as long as this card is in your small group, you may choose to discard up to 3 cards from your hand. If you do, draw 1 card for each card that you discard in this manner. Trusty level 2 says, you may choose to discard this card from your small group, including its previous growth stage and any cards attached to it. If you do, draw 4 cards. This Servitude says, once per turn, you may draw 1 card for each faith, hope, or Holy Spirit Animo in your small group. And likewise, Flamingo level 2 says, once per turn, you may draw 1 card for each faith, hope, or love Animo in your small group. So, these cards draw cards for having faith Animo in your small group. This card draws cards for discarding him. And Stagnatic draws cards for the cards that you discard with his effect. Alrighty. Next up, we have Lumini, who's in a category all of his own because he does something very unique. He says, when this card is played from your hand to grow Lumini level 1, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Discard as many of those cards as you desire and return the rest to the top of your deck in any order. So, he has the ability to filter out cards that are on top of your deck and place them in your discard pile, while returning the rest safely. That is very unique for Faith. That's more like the discarding thing I can understand with Faith, because Faith likes to discard cards and recycle cards. But the other ones, returning them back to the top of the deck, that's more of like a Holy Spirit or Hope thing. Next up, we have Animo that like to protect your other Animo. We have Armorino level 3, who says as long as this card remains in play, your opponent's Cindy's actions or ability have no effect. He is one of the best protections in the game. And then we have Flow level 2, who says ability, as long as this card's in your small group, any love Animo in play may not be the target of actions of Cindy's. So this Flow likes to protect your love Animo, and it is a faith Animo that does so. So it's kind of neat that these faith Animo actually provide Cindy protection, because that is a love thing. Next up, we have Animo that we like to activate for free. First one is going to be Trusty level 2. It has the ability for each Trusty in your discard pile, you may remove 1 cost to activate this Animo. So if you have 3 Trusties in your discard pile, he is free. If you have 2, he costs 2. If you have 1, he costs 1. If you have none, he costs 3. If you have, and then the Stagnatic has the Preserve Faith ability. And it says, if there's at least 3 Faith power cards in your discard pile, this card has no activation costs. So this Stagnatic is rewarding you for having discarded those power cards by activating for free. I like it how they're both 10s though. Next up, we have our Animo that like to increase their virtue point power. We have Quillo from Red Letter Day. Has the ability, says you may place up to 4 cards from your hand beneath this card and effectively out of play. When activated, this card earns 3 virtue points for each card beneath this one. Discard those cards when this card is discarded. So, this Quillo can be worth up to 12 for 1. That's pretty good value. Then, we have Stagnetic from Fearless. Stagnetic has the Endurance ability, which says instantly earn 5 VP if you have 20 or fewer cards in your deck, and an additional 5 VP if you have 10 or fewer cards in your deck. So he can be a grand total of 18 VP. And last but not least is the Armorino level 3. He has the Preserve Faith action, which is once per turn you can instantly earn 2 VP for every Faith power card in your discard pile. No more than 10 VP may be earned in this manner. And with that, this has been all the Animo that helps support Faith. So in the meantime, Truth Seekers, keep learning virtues and defeating Sinnies.